All right, Kosovo 2.3, the decade of change, Yugoslavia 1980 to 1989. This is where the rubber really meets the road when it comes to the cause of this crisis. So Tito is going to die in 1980. Once Tito dies, the system starts to fall apart. Tito really held Yugoslavia together, but once he is gone, Yugoslavia is going to begin to crumble. The breakup of Yugoslavia and the wars that ensued formed the most important conflicts in Europe and the West immediately following the Cold War. So this is going to lead to a number of major crises going on in Europe that are going to happen directly because of the fall of Yugoslavia. Now, the origin of the Yugoslav War and the Kosovo conflict can be traced back to the rise of Serbian nationalism in the mid-1980s. That is crucially important. Make sure you understand that. So when you are asked what led to the rise of this conflict, you need to look at the rise of Serbian nationalism in the 1980s. Now, Kosovo is kind of a microcosm of what's going on in Yugoslavia as a whole. There's a lot of ethnic tensions going on. You've got nationalism rising up, trying to crush these rebellions, different things like that. What's going on in Kosovo is happening throughout Yugoslavia. Kosovo is just the most severe of all of these crises, okay? This political reaction that's going to be unleashed is going to really go and just increase this nationalism, okay? Kosovars, so the people in Kosovo, their nationalism, they're going to be very nationalistic. The Serbs are also going to be very nationalistic. During Tito, this was crushed. However, Tito is now dead. They're not crushing this rebellion quite the same way, and that's going to lead to a number of issues. There's going to be a purge in the Kosovo liberation, or within the Kosovo party, Communist Party officials in 1981. There's going to be a reaction of initial protest, which is really all it's going to do is cause more tension and put a rift between Kosovo and the central government in Belgrade. Belgrade. That's going to be very problematic. There's a lack of trust and a hostility between Kosovo and Serbia, and that's just not a good thing. Then we're going to the mid-1980s. There's going to be a steady stream of propaganda coming out of Belgrade. This is similar, as I mentioned right through here, to what was going on with the Hutu power movement in Rwanda. So when we talked about that in the last section, so there's going to be a lot of propaganda, this false information, telling stories of rape and assault and intimidation. It's going to fuel the reality that Serbs are going to hold the vast majority of positions of power in Kosovo. Many Serbs that were living in Kosovo have already left the country because Kosovo tends to be very poor, and they want out. So there's going to be this kind of this increase in propaganda, which is going to be increasing the Serbian nationalism and spreading division among Kosovo and Serbia. Kosovo is still the poorest Yugoslav region, as I've already said. They just don't have as much money as the other ones. Excuse me. As a result of that, people start leaving Kosovo, particularly the Serbs that were in Kosovo. They're going to go to different parts of Serbia because it's just better for them. The special status of Kosovo within Serbian culture and Serbian history is meaning there's going to be a number of problems. The most defining moment in Serbian history is the Battle of Kosovo in the 1300s. In Kosovo, this is kind of the centerpiece of Serbian heritage and Serbian pride. They view this as their land. They want it right there. So there's going to be something that nationalists, especially the ultra-nationalists, really find important about Kosovo. They really want Kosovo because it's part of Serbia. According to them, they need it. There's also going to be a demographic situation and shift in Kosovo. As you can see right here, after World War II, almost 70% of the country was Albanian. By this time, over 77%. So there's more Albanians and less Serbs. This is due to a number of different reasons, particularly the birth rate. The Muslim Albanians were having more children than the Christian Orthodox Serbs. And that just means you're going to have more kids coming out, and that's really is going on. Basically, there's more Albanians than Serbs in Kosovo, so this division that was already going on is now going to be getting increased. And this brings us to Slobodan Milosevic, this man right through here. Now, Milosevic is probably the most influential figure of post-Cold War Europe when it comes to doing some really bad things. He's going to be coming to power and doing a lot of really not good things. He's going to be the first European head of state to be prosecuted for genocide and war crimes due to what he's doing during the breakup of Yugoslavia. He's going to deliberately use the term of genocide. Okay, it's going to be used by the Serbian Academy of Arts and Science, or Science and Arts, SANU, and they're talking that Serbs living outside of Serbia are being subject to genocide, so that basically they're being killed. Now, this is a direct use of the word genocide. Remember when we talked about Rwanda, how countries were trying very hard to not use the word genocide? Right here, he's just going to come out and say genocide. This was deliberate, and it was used to unleash a tiger of Serb nationalism, which is a way of really increasing that Serbian nationalism. The SANU memorandum is what's going to do this. Make sure you understand that. It's written right down here. Milosevic is going to decline to condemn the memorandum in public. His close friend was the leader of the country, Stambolic, and he's going to condemn this. Milosevic does not. He's going to adapt the tone later on, and he's going to use it to destroy the career of his political mentor, Stambolic, right through there, and then he's going to take over. And this is really what Milosevic does to come to power. He's going to give a speech at the site of the Battle of Kosovo. In this speech, he's going to transform the relationship between Milosevic and Stambolic, where he's going to ultimately come to power. He's going to appeal to Serbian nationalism, which has always been present throughout the region, and he's going to really take it forward. Now, remember, Tito tried to crush Serbian nationalism. Milosevic is like, let's play this up and make Serbia a better place. And this is going to ultimately lead to the change of landscape in Yugoslavia as a result of this. We're going to get constitutional reforms in Yugoslavia through 1989 to 1991. 1989 was the fall of all these communist countries throughout Eastern Europe. Going to have issues going on in Yugoslavia as well, but they're going to be dramatically overshadowed by events like the Berlin Wall. At this time, Milosevic is going to go and consolidate power, fostering a flourishing national sentiment that had brought him to power. So he came to power as a result of Serbian nationalism, and he's going to increase this way of Serbian nationalism. He's going to orchestrate large demonstrations in other areas of Serbia, in Yugoslavia, and made Kosovo a leading issue. So this talk about Kosovo needing to not be an autonomous state anymore, getting it back into part of Serbia, he's going to make a major, major issue. He's going to really try to exacerbate this Serbian nationalism. He's going to replace the leaders of the two autonomous regions in Serbia, Vojvodina and Kosovo. He's going to replace them with his own allies, which means important thing to understand right here is within the Yugoslav Republic, there were 6 independent countries and then 2 autonomous regions. Each of those countries and autonomous regions had an individual vote when it came to what was going on in Yugoslavia. Milosevic is going to put loyalists there in Kosovo, Vojvodina, can't pronounce that, himself in Serbia, and he's also going to put a loyalist in Montenegro, meaning he's going to have 4 of the 8 votes, meaning he can control pretty much what's going on in Yugoslavia, and he's going to definitely do this. This is an example of consolidation of power. He's also going to be a very charismatic leader when he has these meetings of truth. So when we're talking about authoritarian regimes, the consolidation of power, the charismatic leader, Milosevic is taking care of those. We're going to get the yogurt revolution, which is the coolest name for a revolution ever. They're going to pass out cups of yogurt. They're going to respond by throwing them at the building. Kosovo is Serbia. Vojvodina is Serbia. Together we are stronger. Supporters of Milosevic. Basically, if we keep these autonomous regions, we're going to be weak. Bring them together, we will be strong. Replacing old leaders with men who are loyal to him. November of 1988, Kosovo's Communist Party leaders had been dismissed, and he's going to be replacing them with his own officials. And they're going to strip Kosovo of its autonomy, which it gained in 1974. There's going to be miners in Kosovo, okay, which is going to be where the largest mine in the entire Yugoslav Republic. They're going to step out and strike as a way of protesting against this. This is a massive, massive problem for Milosevic and for Yugoslavia because this is where their income is coming from, and they have the real ability to stop this from happening. As you can see right through in this section, 70% of the country's wealth is coming out of this region. So they're going to stop working, and that's going to be problematic. Kosovo is a pure center of history. This quote right here really explains why the Serbians, want Kosovo so very much. Right down here as well, Milosevic is going to respond by giving the Serbian workers a day off, bring people in from Belgrade. he is going to be beloved by the Serbian people, the vast majority of them, because he's increasing Serbian nationalism. He's making Serbia strong. And if you're a nationalist and you're Serbian, you're going to be liking this. Kosovo is effectively going to vote for its own dissolution as an autonomous unit because, as we've already talked about, Milosevic replaced their leaders with people who are loyal to him. He's going to make an example of Kosovo. There's going to be similar protests going on in other places throughout Yugoslavia, particularly Ljubljana, capital of Slovenia. He is going to crush the miners in their strike, and he is going to basically say, if you do this, this is going to happen to you. He's going to use them to make an example. Tanks are going to come into Kosovo, and a new constitution is going to be declared. And these protests are going to consistently keep happening. Now, right here, this is a crucial speech that Milosevic is going to do. June 28th is an incredibly important date in the Balkan regions. Number one, it's the date of the Battle of Kosovo. Number two, it is the anniversary of the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, Serbian nationalist, which led to by Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip, which led to the start of World War I. Right here, the Battle of Kosovo has become a totem and talisman of Serbian identity, unlike anything else in the history of the Serbs. So it's kind of a really big deal if you're Serbian for Kosovo, because it's like your defining moment in your cultural history. These different quotes right here explain kind of what's going on and why they are so important and why this is so important for Kosovo or for Serbia. Protests are going to continue, and they're going to be dealt with by law and order, coming in to basically crush anyone who's trying to protest. At this point, the division of the Yugoslav Republic is going to start to crumble. There's going to be, in 1989, asylum seekers leaving the Soviet countries, going into Austria and West Germany. The Berlin Wall is ultimately going to fall. And then that's going to overshadow pretty much everything going on in Yugoslavia, because this is a really big deal. They're going to have a meeting that's going to ultimately be the last Party of Congress of Yugoslavia meeting between the leaders of each individual republic. At this time, Croatia and Slovenia are going to walk out of the Party Congress, which will never meet again, and this is going to be the beginning of the end. Yugoslavia is now beginning to crack. Questions, comments, put it down below. I will take those questions. Otherwise, see you later. Good luck.